World is going digital. It's one global village. Why then do you live back in the days? Don't be left behind. Join the new normal of digital world. Let radio and television be at your fingertips. Get news and current events, entertainment, sports, kiddies programs, and more at your beck and call on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Just visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on all social media platforms. Then you are a global citizen. Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Voice of the voiceless.
It is essential to be up to date on happenings around you, and to make that easy for you, ladies and gentlemen, we present Freshlight, where we bring fresh newspaper headlines to the limelight. Mondays to Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Watch, like, subscribe, and make sure your notification is activated on our YouTube channel. You can also like and comment on our pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Al-IyamoyeTv and radio.
Pleasant morning, welcome to Freshlight on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. It is time for us to take you through the newspaper pages, looking at what is trending on the newspapers and as it affects you and I, to be informed and educated every time. Welcome, and I am OLUWAFISAYOMI. AJIBOLA.
I'm Shirley Bashir. I was starting today this morning on Freshlight. I was starting with the Daily Trust newspaper, the headlines. Devaluation, Nigerian firms record 716.8 billion losses. Jais Bank half-year profit rises by 51%. Coups, Nigerian cuts off electricity supply to Niger. Tinubu meets Labour as workers storms National Assembly, Government House. Ex-Governor Bangudu, Lalong Machawali order makes Tinubu final ministerial list. You take on the Punch, this Daily Trust newspaper this morning for this frontline news. Into the details this morning.
Okay, on Freshlight, we'll start with Daily Trust details, and you have these on Daily Trust. Nationwide protest. Tinubu meets Labour as workers storms National Assembly, Government House. The organized Labour yesterday protested nationwide against what is termed anti-masses policies of the federal government, especially the removal of petrol subsidy. However, apparently worried by the turn of events, President Bola Tinubu last night met with the leadership of the Labour Union at the State House in Abuja. This is even as the Federal High Court in Abuja has summoned the Labour leaders over alleged contempt. President of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC), Joe Ajaero, who disclosed this in Abuja last night, said they were currently in possession of a court summon charging them for contempt of the court for conveying Wednesday protest across 33 states and the Federal Capital Territory (FCT). Nationwide protest. Tinubu meets Labour as workers storms National Assembly, Government House. Go ahead.
Still on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, ex-Governor Bangudu, Lalong Matawale order make Tinubu fresh ministerial list. Former Governor Simon Lalong plead to Boyegawi Tola Oshun, Bello Matawale Samfara, Ibrahim Gaidam Yobe, Atiku Bangudu KB have been nominated as ministers. The names were part of the additional 19-man ministerial list sent to the Senate by President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday for approval. The President Tinubu had last Thursday forwarded to the Red Chamber a list of 28 nominees whose screening was concluded yesterday. The Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, submitted the second list of the nominees to Senate President Godswin Akpabio after being admitted into the Red Chamber. Ex-Governor Bangudu Lalong Matawali order make Tinubu's fresh ministerial list. You can take on the Daily Trust newspaper for more details this morning.
Okay, also on Daily Trust, at caucus meeting, Tinubu charges APC leaders on financial discipline. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has called on the leadership of the ruling All Progressive Party (APC) to embrace accountability in all forms, but especially with respect to financial discipline and in the active promotions of top-level women and youth participation in day-to-day operations of the party. The president made the call on Wednesday during the National Caucus meeting of the party, which took place at the State House Conference Center, Abuja. According to him, this is to strengthen the All Progressive Congress and firmly establish its stability as a governing party. At caucus meeting, Tinubu charges APC leaders on financial discipline. Daily Trust has the details.
From Daily Trust, now we move on to the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Labour protests hardship as Tinubu waits in. Nigeria cuts power supply to Niger Republic. UK $380 million aid making a difference in Northeast. Foreign Secretary. 5 ex-governor, 14 others make Tinubu's second list. How infrastructure decay impact judicial system. We will win Kogi, Imo, Bayelsa, PDP boasts. APC crisis, anxiety over possible dissolution of NWC. You can take on the Vanguard newspaper this morning for the news headline. Into the this morning.
Okay, on Vanguard newspaper, subsidy removal, Labour suspends nationwide strike. Less than 24 hours after declaring nationwide protest against the removal of fuel subsidies, the organized Labour Union has suspended its nationwide strike action, coming on the heels of a meeting with President Bola Tinubu. A senior source in the organized Labour Union confirmed to Vanguard that the suspension of the strike was based on the meeting with President Tinubu, who had vowed immediate implementation to some of the issues raised during the meeting by the Labour leaders. Vanguard had reported that the NLC and the TUC had embarked on a national industrial action yesterday to press home some of his demands against the removal of fuel subsidy. In a move to placate the Labour Union, Tinubu had on that day, before the declaration of the strike action by the Labour Union, made a national broadcast to Nigerians to explain his administration is tackling the hardship occasioned by the fuel subsidy removal. The broadcast was greeted with criticism from NLC, who fought claims by the federal government of saving 1 trillion from the removal of the fuel subsidy. Subsidy removal, Labour suspends nationwide strike. The copy of Vanguard newspaper has the details. Also on Vanguard, Nigerian cuts power supply to Niger Republic. It asks riders like ECOWAS moves to restore democracy. Military intervention is last resort, defense chiefs. UK Foreign Secretary Ms. Tinubu backs ECOWAS stance. Going into the details. Nigeria has disconnected the supply of 150 megawatts of the electricity daily to Niger as part of the effort by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to restore democracy in that nation. The disconnection was effected by the transmission company of Nigeria, TCN, directly involved in the transmission of power on Tuesday night. The managing director, CEO of TCN, Engineer Sule Abdulaziz, did not respond when Vanguard called repeatedly yesterday. But a source in the organization who pleaded anonymity said, it is true Niger was disconnected from the national grid last night. Based on the instruction of the government, Nigeria used to supply 150 megawatts of power to Niger. Nigeria cuts power supply to Niger Republic. Details is on Vanguard newspaper.
I'll stand on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Excellent choices. Fani Kayode praises Tinubu's ministerial nominees. President Tinubu had on the cusp of expiration of 60 days deadline as provided by the Constitution on the submission of ministerial list to the National Assembly for confirmation submitted a 28-man list to the Senate. The list was described as colorless and awarded for treasury by the opposition, who questioned the inclusion of the ex-governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike. Fani Kayode, who many had thought would have made the ministerial list, given his ordained with the Department of State Service during the campaign and how vociferous he was against the opposition, was conspicuously missing from the list. Fani Kayode, reacting to the ministerial list in a tweet, extolled the choices of President Tinubu, describing them as excellent and urging Nigerians to support them with a prayer. He tweeted, "Congratulations to all those in both the first and second ministerial list of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They are all excellent choices, and I wish them the very best in their service to our great nation." Excellent choices. Fani Kayode praises Tinubu's ministerial nominees. Take on the Vanguard newspaper for more details.
Still on Vanguard newspaper, ministerial nominee Lateef Fagbemi wants EFCC, ICPC unbundled. Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, ministerial nominee from Kwara, has called for the unbundling of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC. Fagbemi said this at the screening of the last batch of 28 ministerial nominees sent by the President Bola Tinubu to the Senate. The truth must be told, you fight corruption, but at the same time the way it's fought in Nigeria leaves much to be desired. That is the truth. If I have my way, I will advise President to unbundle first of all, bring out ICPC and EFCC together and unbundle them, he said. He said the investigation of criminal offences should not be handled by the same body, adding that there must be supervisory authority within the same system. Ministerial nominee Lateef Fagbemi wants EFCC, ICPC unbundled. Vanguard has the details.
From there, we'll take a short commercial break, and we'll come back. We'll give you more news details on the Nation newspaper and the Punch newspaper. Do stay with us.
Thousands have been disappointed severally in their bid to seek greener pasture abroad. To those quack in the traveling agency business, it is a rocket science. That is not our case at Tausaf Travels and Tour. We have in-depth details on how to successfully, without stress, help you process and secure your visa to anywhere in the world. Do you want permanent residential visa, visiting and tourism visa, student visa to places like Europe, America, Asia, Africa? It's no big deal to us at Tausaf Travels and Tour. Our years of experience and expertise speaks volume for us. Let's process and secure visa for you to UK, USA and Canada within a twinkle of an eye. We offer Hajj and Umrah services to our Muslim faithfuls. What are you waiting for? Consult us at number 9 Tausaf Central Mall, Sholanke Street, behind Laroy Hotel, Abiola Way, Abeokuta. 0802 733 0900 or 0806 578 4060. Stop wasting money. Pay for peace of mind. Talk to Tausaf Travels and Tour.
Gbogbo aláfẹ́ tó gba yìí tó fẹ́ gbàgbà mú ló ń kọjá lọ sí House of Zayana. House of Zayana, the name I know when we talk of top-notch fashion, quality materials and class. House of Zayana, lẹ́tí máa rójúlówó Turkey wears, Egypt and Malaysia clothing, Dubai, àwọn designer bags lóríṣiríṣi, àwọn ìtẹ̀lẹ̀ bàtà tó jiná tí wọ́n fawọ́ original ṣe, àwọn aago kájọ́ tó ń ka wákàtí ọjọ́, designer sunglass films pẹ̀lú àwọn gbogbo nǹkan tóbìnrin àsìkò fi ń gbafẹ́ lò gbà. Mo débẹ̀ ojú mi ń ṣe kámi, èmi ni oró mú gbogbo ẹ̀yin mùsùlùmí ẹlẹ́sìn tẹ gbòógì gbọ́npa fashion tẹ wá nílò jàlábíà hijab àti àbáyà lóríṣiríṣi. House of Zayana lẹ́ẹ̀ ti rí gbogbo ẹ̀ rà. House of Zayana wà ní 52 ọlọ́run ṣògo road adjacent Redeemed Church Agape Parish ọlọ́run ṣògo Abẹ́òkúta. Lórí Instagram House of Zayana 08165688618. House of Zayana ilé ìtajà tá a ti ń tojúlówó aṣọ àti nǹkan aṣaralóge tí ń gbéni níyì. Gbogbo aláfẹ́ tó gba
Welcome back from that short commercial break. I'll stay Freshlight on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. We'll be going to the Nation newspaper this morning. Headline: Labour talks with Tinubu on cost of living fruitful. $150 million spent on fuel importation monthly, says central bank. How government can win corruption cases by Fagbemi. ECOWAS gear up for military action in Niger. APC NEC to decide the fate of NWC member today. NMA declares indefinite strike in Lagos over doctors' deaths. You can take on the Nation paper this morning for the headlines into the details this morning.
Okay, away from the cover stories, you see these. Labour suspends strike, embraces dialogue. The organized labour has suspended its proposed strike action 24 hours after embarking on nationwide protest against removal of fuel subsidy. President of Trade Union Congress TUC, Festus Oshifu, announced this during an interview with Arise News on Thursday morning. He said the labour leaders who had earlier met with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu extracted some commitment to some of the issues raised during the meeting for immediate implementation. He explained the suspension of the strike was based on this. Labour suspends strike, embraces dialogue. The Nation is reporting this morning. Also on The Nation, you will see again, President picks men, women of rich pedigree. Former governors are dominating the legislative and executive arm of government in the new administration. To the Senate, a list of 19 additional ministerial nominees, 5 of them, Adegboyega Oyetola Osun State, Atiku Bagudu Kebbi, Bello Matawale Zamfara, Ibrahim Gedam Yobe, and Simon Lalong Plateau are ex-governors. This brings to 9 the numbers of governors who will serve in the federal cabinet if their appointments are ratified by the Senate. Already screened by the Parliament are former Governor Nyesom Wike, Rivers, Nasiru El-Rufai, Kaduna, Dave Umahi Mpoyi, and Abubakar Badaru Jigawa. The appointment of the ex-governors was based on merit, although it may have been dictated by the preference of the president, following wider consultations with the leadership of the state chapters. Indeed, the former governors were the same party leaders. Again, President picks men, women of rich pedigree. The Nation has the details.
Still on The Nation this morning, Labour talks with Tinubu on cost of living fruitful. As part of a long day yesterday, Labour leaders met with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his office at Aso Rock, a parley that is described as fruitful, which might have terminated their plan to continue with the nationwide protests. In Abuja, Lagos, and many state capitals, the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and Trade Union Congress (TUC) led some workers and civil society organizations in a protest against the rising cost of living and the delay by the government in giving support to workers affected by the removal of petrol subsidy. The Labour leaders revealed their meeting with the president and said in a statement that they will wait the implementation of the agreement with the president. They said President Tinubu committed to an immediate restructuring of the framework for engagement in line with the input of the Labour leaders. Promised that the Port Harcourt refinery will commence production by December this year. Labour talks with Tinubu on cost of living fruitful. Take on The Nation newspaper this morning for more details.
On The Nation newspaper, why there is traffic on Express Road. Ogun State Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Agency (TRACE) has again warned truck drivers against indiscriminate parking at Goro Market in Ijako on Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. Corps Commander Chief Executive Officer Abdul Fatai Oguyemi said indiscriminate parking of vehicles endanger other road users. The commander said the traffic congestion in that road, especially at the Goro Market turning point, is not about poor traffic management, but a result of drivers' carelessness, aggression, impatience, and illegal parking. He appealed to commercial drivers, pedestrians to obey traffic rules, saying TRACE would focus on strategies to make highways safer. Why there is traffic on Expressway? That's from the TRACE commander. The Nation newspaper has details.
The last newspaper this morning that we parading this morning is the Punch newspaper. The headlines on the Punch newspaper: Oyetola Lalong Bangudo, 16 others make second ministerial list. Bank offices short amid rallies. Labour demand 200,000 naira wage. NLCTUC leader hold emergency neck today after special meeting with Tinubu National Assembly. FG sues Labour leaders, say protests will be suspended. Our protester broke National Assembly gate. PDP inaugurates camping councils for Bayelsa, Imo, Kogi polls. Lagos Pro doctor death in hospital elevator. Colleagues short work. Community protest demolition. Seek Sanwo-Olu intervention. Nigeria cut power supply. ECOWAS vow to confront junta. FDA delays 18 illegal loan app. Take on the Punch newspaper this morning for the headlines into this morning.
Local refinery will reduce petrol price by 70 naira per litre. Marketers. Oil marketers have said local refinery will save at least 70 naira per litre of the petrol price when it is fully operational. The National Controller of Operations, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Mike Osatuyi, said this while speaking on the benefit of the federal government investing in functional refineries. He told the Punch on Wednesday that although the contract for revamping of refineries had been awarded, it will be a great development for repairs to be completed as soon as possible to ease the stress and incidence of importation on the country. Local refining will reduce petrol price by 70 naira per litre. Marketers. Punch has the details. Also on Punch, you will see NLC confirms suspension of strike following Tinubu's intervention. The Nigerian Labour Congress has confirmed the suspension of its planned strike following the intervention of President Bola Tinubu and the Senate. This resolution followed the National Executive Council meeting of the Congress. The National Treasurer, Akim Ambali, in a tacit message sent to our correspondent this morning, Thursday, said protest suspended due to Senate intervention and meeting with President Tinubu yesterday night. The Punch report that the NLC protest, which was held yesterday across the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, prompted an emergency meeting between the President and the Labour leaders. NLC confirmed suspension of strike following Tinubu's intervention. The Punch has the details.
Still on the Punch newspaper this morning, but we're taking the metro news on the Punch newspaper. Air passenger arrested for stealing 1 million naira on board. Airpeace on Wednesday said a passenger on board one of its flights allegedly stole 1 million naira from another passenger's bag but was caught. The airline spokesperson, Stanley Olisa, said in a statement in Lagos that the incident took place on board Abuja Port Harcourt flight P47192 on July 27. The news agency of Nigeria reports that there have been reported cases of theft on board aircraft involving different airlines operating in the country in recent time. Olise said the suspect stole the amount contained in the brown envelope but was caught by the owner of the money with the intervention of the airline's staffs. Air passenger arrested for stealing 1 million naira on board. You can take on the Punch newspaper this morning for more details.
ROB found missing phones at tribunal. Aid. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, says his mobile phones were not stolen at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal in Abuja on Tuesday. Obi, who spoke through his media aide, Tai Obasi, told Punch correspondent that the phones believed to have gone missing were in the custody of his aide. The media had been awash with videos and memes of the perplexed former governor of Anambra State searching for his phones at the tribunal, with many people concluding that they were probably stolen in the court while exchanging pleasantries with party supporters. Obi, who was dressed in his usual black attire, sat close to his running mate, Dati Baba Ahmed, national chairman of LEPI, Julius Abure, and renowned writer Chiamanda Adiche throughout the court proceedings. Reacting to the drama, Obasi dismissed the report, saying the phones were never stolen. IOB found missing phones at Tribunal 8. That is on Punch newspaper. On that note, we'll say it is a wrap on Freshlight this lovely Thursday morning. Make a date with us tomorrow as we will be taking you through those newspaper pages as it's been published. I remain OLUWAFISAYOMI AJIBOLA. Good morning.
I'm sure Ole Moshoudeke. Good morning.